This is Bruce Friedman of Adult Site Broker, and welcome to Adult Site Broker Talk, where each week we interview one of the movers and shakers of the adult industry, and we give you a tip on buying and selling websites. This week we'll be speaking with Michael Ramos of ASN Entertainment. ASB Cash, the affiliate program for Adult Site Broker, would like to announce we've doubled our affiliate payouts. That's right. Now when you refer sellers or buyers to us at Adult Site Broker, you'll receive 20% of our broker commission on any and all sales that result from that referral for life. You can either place a link to us on your site or refer buyers and sellers through an email introduction. ASB Cash is the first affiliate program for an adult website brokerage. Check out asbcash.com for more details and to sign up. Now let's feature our property of the week that's for sale at Adult Site Broker. We're proud to offer a network of 22 growing affiliate sites. These include adult and affiliate review sites and various top lists. The network has grown in traffic and income over time. This is due to the quality of the network's SEO and other optimization. The network brings in large amounts of signups through pay-per-sale and revenue share programs. There are also many two-tier affiliate signups generating income monthly. The best-paying affiliate program accounts are included in the sale, so the buyer won't have to change all the tracking. The seller will be available to the buyer with some ideas on how to further generate extra revenue that he didn't have a chance to implement himself and to train the new owner on the operation of the sites. Everything is there to get things ready for the new owner to come in and make a lot more money than is currently being made since the current owner has moved on to other ventures. Only $474,000. Now time for this week's interview. My guest today on Adult Site Broker Talk is Michael Ramos, CEO and founder of ASN Entertainment. Michael, thanks for being with us today on Adult Site Broker Talk.
Bruce, it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Hey, it's great to have you. Now, Michael started the magazine in 2011, which was the first of its kind in the lifestyle. They began with a vision and one website, and ASN Lifestyle Magazine, and have since grown ASN Entertainment into a successful and versatile company. Michael came from the hospitality sector as a GM, as well as a systems administrator out of West Palm Beach, Florida. People always ask what ASN stands for, and the answer is simple. It stands for Adult Social Network. That's simple. It stands for all of us. Now, their focus is to be the leader in providing the lifestyle community, the tools, and the information needed to navigate all that the crazy lifestyle world holds. So, Michael, tell me where you're based and where are most of your readers?
Well, we're based in Orlando, Florida, the Sunshine State. Our reader base actually comes from all over the world. The magazine is a global magazine.
Mm-hmm. So did it pretty much start out domestic and then branch out from there?
Correct, Bruce. We started probably, I think, with less than 100 readers when we started. And that was back in 2018 when we got the magazine actually up and running to where it was good to go out. But now we're celebrating our 4th year, and we have a reach of over 3 million people globally.
Wow. So what do you attribute all the growth to?
The magazine's free. I mean, it's that, and it's the fact that we have really good contributors that are in the magazine each month.
Okay. Now you also have an online edition. Talk a little bit about the difference between the two, and how the online version's going.
Well, our distribution is only online. We never got into the print game just because.
Oh, okay.
We vary in the page count each month, which gives us the flexibility to have either, we could fit a ton of content into the space versus being constrained by a printer that's only going to limit us to print X amount of pages each month.
Sure.
So with that said, it's the digital online has been very successful. The magazine itself is almost, it gives you the feel, it gives you everything but the smell of a real magazine, because you have the flip, you have the sound of the pages flipping.
Sure.
It gives you all that.
Right. In this day and age, let's face it, pretty much everything's going digital, isn't it?
Correct. I mean, even Playboy, after all these years, has finally gone completely digital with their publication.
Yeah, that was kind of necessitated, I think, by money. So,
Yes.
so, how did ASN get started, and what was the goal at that time?
Originally, when ASN started, and hence where the acronym ASN stands for Adult Social Network, was we tried to produce a website like SDC, SLS back in the day.
Okay.
And that we were trying to find our niche into this market space. And we were hit with brick walls, a lot of resistance and stuff like that. People
Hmm.
didn't want another dating website or swingers website. So after spending lots of money and we sat there at the dinner table one night and said, look, you know what? There's no media company or exposure that's happening in the lifestyle. Why don't we be that source?
Hmm.
And the light bulb went off in the head, and the Jew in me, which I'm Jewish, said, let's produce this. And
Likewise.
that's where it was born. We hit that vacuum. Someone had
Hmm.
made the example that there was a vacuum and we were able to suck into it when we got to lifestyle, because originally when
Hmm.
we were told that no one was going to read the magazine. No
Right.
one was going to want to be in the magazine.
Hmm.
And we're now in like I said, our fourth year, and I have probably over a year and a half waiting list on the cover.
Hmm. Wow.
So it's been very successful. We're very proud of what we're doing. We're very humble.
You said you got a lot of resistance. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, the resistance came from within the lifestyle itself. Being in the lifestyle for over 15 years, when I decided that this was something that we were going to do, I went to what I thought was the top echelon of the lifestyle
Yeah.
and gave them this idea of what I wanted to do. And some of the people were very supportive and said, we got your back, we'll support you. And some of those people were actually in the magazine. But then there were some people that said, no, it's not going to work. No one's going to want to be in it. And it's just, you're wasting your time and you're wasting your money.
Hmm.
And I think the reason they said that is because if I didn't go through with it, they would have came around and done it, because it's a success.
Oh, sure. Sure, it's a great idea. But you also said that you got resistance to starting another social network. You mentioned SDC.
Correct.
Was that I mean, tell me about that part.
That's actually kind of funny, because everything comes to fruition. The same people that were saying, we don't want you doing this, because 15 years ago, and probably still true to today, the lifestyle, they try to keep everybody in their box. So if you're a
Mhm.
member of this site, well, we don't want you on this site. You can't do this. You got to go to our parties, blah blah blah.
Hmm.
Well, so that was the resistance. But the funny thing is that resistance then became my advertisers.
Yeah,
So now the people that were fighting me are now paying me.
I love it.
And SDC, for example, we've been in a relationship with them since 2019, and they're actually my title sponsor of our award show this year.
Hmm.
So you could just see how far we've come, from being not wanting to talk to one another to actually working together.
That's a little hard to understand because let's face it, you guys like the entire adult industry get a lot of noise from the outside, but I think people in the lifestyle even get more noise because let's face it, and the preconceived notion is you've got a man and you've got a woman and that's a relationship, and the lifestyle really deviates from that, and not in a negative way, but I mean it's different than the preconceived notion, the religious norms, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And here you wanted to start another social network that had to do with a lifestyle. So maybe you can fill me in a little bit more, since I'm not in the lifestyle. Maybe you can fill me in a little bit more about how the people are in that respect to, I don't know, why are they trying to put everybody in a box?
Well, I think what's happened since that the stigma or the things where they were wanting to keep everybody in the box, I think what the magazine did was open up that box. It opened up and say, hey, this is who we are. We're proud of what we are. Everyone
Mhm.
has the outside thing swinging necessarily means, everyone's going and they're having an orgy.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily the case. I mean,
Right.
swinging in itself has so many levels of what a swinger is.
Sure.
You could be a swinger and actually not have sex with anybody. You're just
Mm-hmm.
part of a group that likes to get together and hang out. Or
Sure.
you could, like we did, is we formed a niche with a couple of couples that we've grown to very fond of over the years, and that's kind of where we play. We don't go outside of that group.
Okay.
But then you have the younger generation of swingers that do this whole mass, everyone's going to have sex with everybody, and that's okay. But as far as the stigma about maybe what the outside was seeing, I think that the magazine has helped reshape that because
Mm-hmm.
of the contributors, like I said, that we have. We have some of the best sexologists and therapists in the country that are in the magazine as contributors.
Mm-hmm.
Case in point, our May cover is therapists out of Central Texas from a company, well-known therapist company called Evolve Your Intimacy.
Yeah.
So having that, we're able to educate because our magazine rides that line right now where I think a lot of our readership is people wanting to know what the lifestyle is about. So we're able to educate that part of it. And whether they want to play or just get an understanding of what it is, because what they see in the movies and what is reality is total opposites.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's where the magazine comes in line and helps and creates the group versus the separation.
But why didn't they want another social network? That's the
Well, you keep
the
if
part
you
that's
go
hard. That's the part that's hard to understand.
when
Where
you when
where
you
you said, well, you go to these parties, and no, you go to these parties. No, you go to the site. You go to the site. Why is that?
because it comes down to dollars. It comes down to what people are paying, and instead of realizing that the lifestyle has so much of a market that everybody can play in the same lake, they feared that by having someone that belongs to their site go to another site and go to those parties, that they were now going to lose a customer at the end of the day. That's what it is, a dollar.
Uh-huh.
And
So
I
it was
think,
competition.
of course, absolutely,
Ah,
of course, and the top survived and the weak fell.
yes,
But
yes.
you look now in 2022, there's so many micro groups and different sites now that it's not the same issue I had when we tried to do this, when we tried to enter this space. It's much more inviting.
Okay. So what's the difference between? You said you've been in the lifestyle for 15 years.
A little over 15 years, yeah.
Okay. So what's the difference between 15 years ago and now? What's changed?
It's more of an open subject. We don't use the word swingers. We don't like the word swingers. We use
Right.
the word lifestyle
Yes.
because swinger seems to have a bad notate, going back to the day where
Connotation, yeah.
when you threw your keys in a bowl and you picked and that was the person you were going to have sex with.
Hmm.
And that's not what we are nowadays. We're about throwing these massive high budget parties, these huge takeovers, these all inclusive takeover cruises. I mean, it's become a really big market, no different than if you were going on a cruise that was all inclusive but didn't have the
Mhm.
sex. I mean, everybody likes what we're
That's
doing.
really all inclusive.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say no. There's like 4 cruises a year now that just cater to the lifestyle.
Hmm.
So we got one coming up. It's going to Barcelona in June.
This is one of yours.
It's one of them that I'll be on because I have a contract with that cruise line or with that lifestyle group, that travel agency.
Hmm. So has your experience in hospitality helped with that?
I think so. I mean, I was in upper management and hospitality. I ran a couple of big hotels in California, and I think
Mhm.
anytime you have that on you have that background, it allows you to be a better person and better read a room. So
Mhm.
yeah, of course, the hospitality field helped.
Are you guys planning on doing some of your own events?
Currently, the only thing we do now is our annual ASN Lifestyle Magazine Awards,
Hmm.
which this last year that it will be virtual. Next year, we're planning on being live with people, and we're looking at Vegas.
Mhm. Okay. But no cruises.
No cruises. Well, I mean, I have cruises, but I have them because of a contract I have with a certain travel company.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, we're doing
Oh,
those,
so
but we do them. We report on the cruise when we're on the ship.
okay. Okay. So the two of you are in the lifestyle yourself. I was going to say
Hmm.
swingers, but I won't. Okay. How did you get started in the lifestyle?
I was young and I like to have sex. It was, it's not like now where I better eat a
And how's
sandwich,
that
but
different from anyone else?
I don't think so. But that's what it started with. It was just that, and then meeting some people that ended up were in the lifestyle. I got introduced to it,
Hmm.
and it just that's where it started. And then you have that conversation with your wife, because when we got married, we weren't in the lifestyle. It was,
Hmm.
this is something that I think we need to have a discussion about, and it worked.
Hmm.
It may have not worked, but I probably would still be doing the same business. I'm not sure that I wouldn't have changed.
Hmm. Okay.
But
So what happened? By the way, excuse me. You started in 2011. What happened between 2011 and 2018?
we were actually shooting porn between 2011 and 2018. We owned a
Oh wow.
company called Real Florida Housewives,
Oh okay.
and that's where we that's how we were able to slip into the lifestyle because of the people we knew. Um,
Okay.
and then we went from that to where I was part of Triple X Porn Star Radio,
Hmm.
which is now no longer in business. But that's kind of where I got my roots into the porn and meeting porn stars that were swingers,
Hmm.
and getting to meet those people, and it just exploded from there.
Yeah. No pun intended.
No pun
Now,
intended.
so talk about how the business started, and I'm sure you got some great stories about getting the business up and running.
Well, yeah, it's really funny. This came at the end of our contract with Triple X Porn Star Radio, 2017.
Mm.
Um, we were sitting I was sitting at my desk, and we were starting the beginnings of this magazine. And my wife said to me, she says, "Look, Michael, seriously, if you don't do something with this business, I'm out. I'm
Hmm.
done. We're going to separate." And this is actually in the April issue of 2019. It talks about everything that happened.
Hmm.
But yeah, so I went in my office that night and I sold my first ad for the magazine that no one knew existed at that point.
Wild.
Yeah, and it's funny is I sold the first ad for $30. And we've come a long way from that $30, but it was the
Yeah.
first $30 we made, and that was a turning point for us as a couple, as a
Hmm.
business,
Hmm.
and it just enhanced the relationship from there moving forward.
Yeah. That's fantastic. So, any other stories about getting started?
Not really. I mean,
Hmm.
it's we like I said, we've met a lot of people. We've used the knowledge that we've had from the lifestyle.
Hmm.
I use, like I said, a lot of the people that I believed in, what I'd call, like I said, the top echelon of this lifestyle. And I cultivated those relationships. And when it was time to put the magazine together, I then called on them, and they came and they were in the magazine and stuff like that. I mean, we've had people from Playboy on the cover, everyone put their
Hmm.
foot forward to help us be successful. So if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here.
Now, it occurs to me because you and I have connected and we're doing business together and we're now an advertiser. It
Yes.
occurs to me that you guys are getting more mainstream. It seems like ASN is out there more people know about it. Talk about that transformation.
That transformation is incredible, and I still look at her and I go, "Can you believe this?" Because it's only yesterday where we were struggling to make the $30,
Hmm.
and the vision we've always had was to produce the best quality magazine we can.
Yeah.
Just because we're in this niche didn't mean it had to be smutty,
No,
and
yeah.
so we did our best. We often say that if GQ and Playboy had a baby, it would be ASN Lifestyle Magazine.
Nice.
So when we move to the mainstream, which is what we've kind of done this route where right now we're in the middle between the adult lifestyle and the lifestyle. I'm sorry, the adult industry and the lifestyle.
Hmm.
And we're now picking at that mainstream audience.
Hmm.
And we did that on purpose. We've even retailored the award show so that it didn't distinguish between whether you were a lifestyle or adult industry,
Interesting.
because I just went back to the grassroots that we had because we were successful there. So why
Sure.
reinvent the wheel when you already have it. Just make it better. And that's what we did. And we just focused on marketing. I mean, marketing, the message.
Yeah.
We pride ourselves. We say, it's all about the lifestyle, which it was. It's all about the community. It's all about the people that read our magazine. We listen to them. We talk to these people. When they call up the phone, they actually get one of us. They don't get a voicemail. That's what we do. We're constant communication with the people that support the magazine and that pay to have their ads in the magazine, because that's the backbone of our magazine, is our advertisers.
Okay. So talk about the blending, and this is kind of a similar question, the blending of the mainstream adult industry with the lifestyle.
I think that started because when we started doing exoticas with, I think at the time it was Lifestyle X, or it was Couples X, and now it's Lifestyle X. They had a little niche that was carved out for them in Exotica, where they had the lifestyle people had their booths. And that, I looked at that one year and I'm saying, well, okay, if the lifestyle can come to an adult industry convention and coexist, then why can't the magazine coexist with these same people?
Sure.
So that's kind of where it started. And then I went back to the people I knew and I said, hey, what do you think? I want to make this turn here. It's not been done before. Do you think this is possible? And we were reassured. They said, Michael, Sherry, what you guys do is brilliant. We don't see you failing. So just keep moving forward. We've never looked back.
Nice. Very nice. So now you referred earlier to your annual awards event. So get into some detail about what it's all about, some of the categories. How does someone get nominated? And I'm sure you're excited about getting back to in-person events.
Oh, we can't wait to get back to in-person events. The last award show we had in person was in Vegas, and it was right before COVID hit. And then we've been off since then. We've been doing the award show virtually.
Yeah.
But it's not the same as having a room full of people. We still try to produce a show that we think they like. We want them to sit there and to sit there for 46 minutes and watch, which from what we're seeing, they did. They sat there and they watched for 40. There was people having watch parties last of the award show all over the country to see if they won awards. So they were going to their clubs and having these watch parties.
That's very cool.
Yeah. And we did the award show on a Sunday. So most of these clubs were closed. So that reopened them. That allowed them to get revenue. And then they had people come in and watch to see if their club won.
That's neat.
It was good.
That's really neat.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. I just need you to. What was the other part of that question? Because
so talk a bit about the award show, how it came about. Maybe some of the categories.
Sure.
What it's all about, and how does someone get nominated?
The award show came together through the fact that we're a publisher. And when you look at a lot of the award shows, they're backed by publishers, by magazines, so we thought, well, this was the next natural step for us in our progression of what we wanted to do. So we, again, sat down with our inner circle, talked about what we wanted to do, and then the award show was born. Wow. Our first year, we actually just loaned our name out to another event, but the award show is named the ASN Lifestyle Magazine Awards, but it was hosted by another event in Vegas.
Okay.
The second year we were on our own, and it was a virtual event. And we changed between what you did in 2020 to 2021, where the nominations, you were nominated, anyone could be nominated. Didn't matter where you came from, you could be nominated. And then then voting would start. Now the problem with that award show was, and we learned, is that we had maybe 30, 40 people in the same category when it came time for voting. So that obviously it was successful because people nominated and people voted, but it wasn't conducive to us to have so many people in the same category. So for this year's award show, we changed it up. And again, this is from learning, and we'll continue to learn and change. But this year, nominations are open, and we want you to constantly nominate. And then what we're doing is we're taking the top 5 nominations, and then they're going to move on to the finals. Now, nominations end April 30th of this month.
And I should say that tell everyone that we're recording this on April 26th, and they'll be long over by the time this runs. Sorry.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So hey, predict a winner maybe. But so then the award show the voting will start in May, and then it will go to June, and then we do our award show virtual event. We're going to do it at a mansion here in Orlando, where I have the presenters coming in, and they're going to do it. They're all signed NDAs, so that no one talks about the award show, and then we produce it, and you'll see it in September.
You will be on before September, I do.
Okay, we'll see.
Maybe.
Now
we got these interviews booked out so far. I'm sorry.
Oh, I hear you. No, it's fine. But like you asked about categories.
Yeah.
There we have everything from best lifestyle best cruise company, best travel company, best resort, best cam girl, best fan site, best public relations company.
Yeah.
So, we changed it up dramatically.
Best website broker.
There is best website. So, unfortunately, I can't nominate you. You have to have your people nominate you. That's one thing people ask about the transparency of the awards, and we're very transparent. Our awards are certified by a CPA every year who takes the votes and counts them and then gives them back to us the day of. For this year would be the day of that we're going to do the production at the house, the mansion that we're going to rent.
Cool.
And that's the first time we'll actually see the results when we go ahead and hand those envelopes to everybody.
Sounds awesome.
We did it because there's so much controversy in this category or event for something that should be, joyous. It's not like you're winning a Nobel Peace Prize. I mean, it's nice that people are very competitive, but we're not going to sell out ourselves to rig an event that should be fun.
Yeah.
So that's why we go above and beyond the steps to prove that, there's never ever going to be a question. No one can ever come back to ASN and say, hey, we kind of think that your award show is maybe a little hinky, because it's not.
Yeah, I get that impression about some of the award shows, but we won't talk about that. So, and it seems like from some of the categories, it's definitely a lot of it is mainstream adult.
It is, but it's a crossover because you got to remember 2 years of the pandemic, a lot of your lifestyle couples were now doing camming.
Yep.
They were doing camming. They were doing anything they could to generate an income.
Of course.
So that's where this came from. So, and there's such a now 2022, it's very hard to see the difference almost between someone that is in the adult industry and someone that's into the lifestyle, because those lives parallel, they really go side by side.
Absolutely.
And it's incredible. So that's why we took the direction we did. And that's why we took off the word lifestyle in the awards, even though they're called the ASN Lifestyle Magazine Awards.
That's awesome. Now, you offer people the chance to become models. So what kind of models are you looking for? What are the models' images and videos used for? And do they have to come see you in person, or can they send you images?
Actually, no, they'd never have to come see us in person. I mean, if in the Orlando market, then yeah, we would meet up for lunch or coffee, just to have a conversation. But what they do is they would go to our corporate site, asnentertainment.com, and they would fill out a model registration. And basically that's all the legal mumbo jumbo, protects us with the US, US 2257.
Yeah.
Right. That way we have it on file. And then basically they pick, there's categories of what we offer for the magazine, and then they go ahead and check what they want. And then what we do is then my wife would get them, my CFO, and then she goes through them and she actually makes first contact and then schedules whether we're going to have a video conference or meet in person. And sometimes the model can get into the magazine right away. Sometimes it may take 6 months to a year for that performer or model to get into the magazine.
Okay. And so you're basically putting images in the magazine?
Well, we have images. We usually ask when a typical, let's say a lifestyle couple comes and they say, we'd like to go ahead and be in your magazine. Well, that's great, but we want a little more substance. So we ask for, Give us your bio. What's your story? What makes you unique? What brought you to the lifestyle, or what brought you to the adult industry? Why should our readers read about you? What makes you different? And they
Sure.
like that. So we usually get between 1,500 to 3,000 words, 5 to 10 pictures, and that goes in as a pictorial. We allow them to go ahead and link to different their social media
Cool.
at the end, and it's so far it's worked out really well. I mean, I think we have the secret sauce for success.
Now, speaking of the secret sauce, I don't know how much of this you want to give away. Um, what advice would you give to someone thinking of starting their own lifestyle magazine?
Don't give up. Be persistent. You're going to fail. You're going to fail over and over again. In fact, I have a plaque on my desk that says very simple: success comes from failure.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you how many times I failed. So my biggest advice is, hey, give me a call. I'd be more happy to talk to you. There's so much room in this space that I'll never shut the door down from someone that wants to go ahead and advance themselves and do something like this.
Nice.
I think that creates competition. Competition is good.
I agree with you. And I like the fact you're not going to do to them what the industry did to you initially.
Right. Well, it happens, but I believe in paying it forward. And that's, as long as I live by that mantra and I live with good karma, good things will happen.
Hey, who knows? Maybe someday they'll buy you out and I'll broker the deal.
that would be fine. We'd have to figure out a way for me to stay on board, though, because it's funny that you say that, because it's very hard to, and I think maybe because we're owners, to give the keys to someone else to produce the magazine. It's very, to me,
yeah.
No one knows what I do, but it's a process. It usually takes me between 19 to 25 days to produce a typical magazine that runs around 180, 190 pages. And that's layout, that's links, that's everything that needs to be in it. It's crazy, but it's a lot. And I don't know if I'm ready to show somebody that yet.
Sure.
My wife tells me I have to, because there's other projects that we're moving on to that are going to need more of my time. So it may happen sooner than later.
And I will attest to the fact that Michael is extremely hands-on. He's extremely hands-on. So you talked about other projects. What do you got coming up?
We have something that's launching soon. We're trying to launch it before July. It's going to be called the ASN Hub.
Okay.
And the hub is going to be really what it is. It's going to be the hub. It's going to be the repository for all the articles that you see in the magazine. We do this to help the advertisers get a better ROI, better return on their investment, because now they get their magazine that goes out, it's there, but now when someone comes to the hub, they're going to see all these active articles all the time.
Cool.
So it's that part. It's also, we're going to be a repository for everyone that has press releases, and we're going to store all those press releases from all over the place.
Nice.
And share that information. We started it with the entertainment, because obviously we handle some of your PR.
Yes.
But we're going to expand it. Oh, it's our pleasure. But we're going to now expand it so it benefits the person writing the PR, the person the PR is about, and the overall, synergy of the community and the industry.
Cool.
So, and that's the second thing. And I don't know if I could talk about the third thing yet, because we're still in development of it.
Okay, if you tell me, you'll have to kill me and all my listeners. And more, that hub, that's more backlinks, man. We're always looking for that stuff, so I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure everybody will. So what advice would you give to someone who's thinking of getting into the lifestyle?
That's a good question, because I think a lot of people get into the lifestyle for the wrong reasons. You have to really almost have that conversation with yourself, asking, why? What is it about the lifestyle that you're attracted to that makes you want to go this route? A lot of people do it because guys do it because I want to have sex with lots of women.
I want to get laid. Yeah. Well, isn't that what all young single guys do? And not necessarily young.
but you know what? That's not what it's about, and that's not how it works. So when they come in with that connotation, it sets a bad tone. Or they force their girlfriend or wife to do it because this is something they want to do.
Right.
And then that ends badly. You really have to have that conversation, that heart to heart. It's no different than someone that's in BDSM. And then after a session, you have to have that recovery, that repair, because you're doing something that you don't typically do in life.
Right.
And then you got to get back together. The best thing that I suggest is that go visit a club, go visit, down here in Florida, we have Trapeze, we have Secret Hideaway. Go visit those and see. You can get a day pass at many of these places. Get an idea for what it is. A lot of these places will also give you a tour and show you different things and explain a little bit more detail. But at the end of the day, it comes from the gut, because not everybody's built for this. Just like not everybody could do what you do. Not everybody could be a professional basketball player. It takes a certain caliber of human being to put themselves and maybe watch their wife being screwed by somebody or whatever, because it's a different mindset.
Absolutely.
Kind of compare it to porn. I think that's why porn actors are able to go back and forth.
Right.
I have a lot of friends that are in the lifestyle that do porn as well, and they've been around for many, many years.
Sure. Now, ASN is a business. Are there any types of content or any organizations you'd refuse to include in your publications on general principles?
Anything that's hate, we won't publish. I mean, that's
Sure.
just common decency. Really hate. We don't want to get into politics that much. Although if you're going to write a piece that's an opinion piece, we have from time to time allowed them to come in. It just really depends on what the relevancy is to the lifestyle or to the industry. If it has a connection, then we more than likely will allow it to come in. But definitely no hate, no discrimination, no anti-Semites, none of that stuff that you would see other places. We won't put up with it. Our idea is to provide a space that people like, enjoy, and want to come back to.
Yeah, that makes sense. So now, if someone wants to advertise their event, their podcast, or their product, what should they know and how should they go about it?
We have currently, if you went to asnlifestylemagazine.com and we have this big button that says advertise with us. Simply click on that. It takes you to where you'll see the different ad sizes that we offer. Talks about the different packages that we have. Our latest media kit is there as well. So you can see our reach, our audience, our demographics and stuff like that, and the companies that do really well in the magazine. So that's all for everybody to see. And then if they still have more questions, they can always pick up a phone, call me or call Sherry, and we'd be more happy to talk to them about it. Our typical advertiser has stayed with us from the beginning. I think the pandemic, we lost 2 clubs because they closed down. They're no longer in business.
Sure.
And we had one fallout that went away, but they were with us for 4 years. And we were friends, and it was a personal issue, and we decided that we didn't want their business.
Okay.
But other than that, and I always say to a potential advertiser, go through our magazine, pick an ad at random, and call them and ask them why they're in the magazine.
Nice.
Because that's the only way, that's the best way to sell it. Because I can tell you all day that, I'm going to sell you this car. I'm going to tell you all the great things about it. But I want you to know what's under the hood and why this is the car for you.
Sure.
So if you go talk to a club or somebody out in far right field that's in the magazine, ask them why. Well, one, how long have you been with the magazine, and why are you still here?
Yeah, how's it working? Yeah,
that's
exactly.
It. And and 99% of them are going to say it because they get a return, and they like the relationship, the one-on-one that we give them. We reach out to them every couple of months saying, hey, do you want to change up your ad? Do you want to do this? Let's, how can we target market for you better?
Yeah.
So we're constantly hands-on that way. And then I just lost my train of thought. The other thing was,
mine jumps the track on a regular basis.
It does. I just watched it hop the track, but it's just, we're there for everybody. I mean, is it for everybody? No, but is it for a lot of people? Yes. I mean, we currently have businesses in the magazine that aren't even in the lifestyle of the adult industry.
Right.
I have urologists. I have plastic surgeons. I mean,
wait, Florida? You're in Florida and you have plastic surgeons? How'd they find you?
It took a while, but they found me. And we offer a really competitive ad package. I think we're the cheapest in the business. Definitely, if you were to, now I know we're not Playboy, but if you were to compare us to Playboy charges $5,000 for a quarter-page ad to run one time. our starting rate for a year contract is $500.
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to go up because of the pandemic. We haven't had an increase, but
Nice.
we've also never hit our ceiling. So we've had no resistance to our price increases over the last few years. So we are due
Mm-hmm.
for one. We're going to wait and do it in 2023.
That's probably wise.
Yeah.
Now, your magazine features a lot of big names in the swingers world. Do you get a chance to meet these people a lot?
Absolutely. That's one of the greatest perks about this business and the magazine is I do get to meet a lot of these people. We've lately, it seems like we're doing a lot of CEOs, and
Mm-hmm.
women in the sex tech business. And it's great. It's really, it's revigored a lot of things that we're
Mm-hmm.
trying to give everybody what they want. And, cultivating again, these are new relationships that we're making. And they tell their people, hey, you know what? You should be in the magazine. And I'll tell you where a lot of my CEOs come from. I have a very active LinkedIn account
Hmm.
and I'm constantly in the conversations about sex tech, about
Yeah.
lifestyle,
Yeah.
about anything that has to do with the sex industry, sex workers. We just did a deal with Mustang Ranch,
Oh, wow.
out in Reno, Nevada. Not the brothel side
Reminds
of
me
it,
of my childhood.
not the brothel side, but we brought on their executive chef as our new contributor.
Never met
So,
him.
yeah. Well, he's been there for 14 years, I think now.
Yeah, still have never met him. Anyway,
No, but so I mean that's what we do.
I
We
didn't
had
go
a
there.
really
I didn't go there to eat.
well. They have good steak, just so you know.
Okay, it's good to know. I'll keep that in mind for the future.
Yeah. No. Unfortunately,
So,
I go out there for business.
so what do you wish people understood about the lifestyle?
That they need to hold their judgment and actually get to know someone or ask questions about it, and not just take what they see in TV and what they read in the paper or the news, because
Mm-hmm.
that's not true. There
Mm-hmm.
was a piece that was done in LA about a club that was raided during the pandemic.
Hmm.
That was a lifestyle club party, and they compared it to sex trafficking.
Oh,
And
lovely.
you can't
Don't
be
they?
further
Yeah,
from the
but
truth.
doesn't the media compare everything in our industry to sex trafficking?
Yeah, they
Crazy.
do because the media isn't media anymore. The media is entertainment.
Yep.
So that's how they pay their bills. And I'm not
Clickbait.
going to get in there because I have a whole different
It's all clickbait.
yeah. Yeah. Well, and we give it to you straight. We actually, here's the other thing I have. You asked for it. We have it. We have Michael Fertarsi. We have one of the leading adult entertainment attorneys that writes for us.
Oh, Michael. Yeah.
Yeah,
Federosi. Yeah.
yep. Michael
Yep.
writes for us.
Yeah.
So I mean, we cover every basis. So I mean, he just got done doing a 5-month article on OnlyFans and about the
Mm-hmm.
lifestyle and about these people trying to get into it, making sure they're protected,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. So I mean, it's a great tool. So we try. If we don't have it, we try to get it. The magazine covers travel. It covers real estate,
Mm-hmm.
which you would find real estate. Yeah, we've sold 6 homes out of the magazine.
Wow.
So it's realtors out there. Hey, we have a really good package for you if you want to put your real estate in.
And
So,
there's also steaks at the Mustang Ranch. If
is.
there's one thing I learned today, that's probably the greatest one. Now, where do you think? I'm kidding. Where do you think the swinging scene needs to change and improve?
I think that's gonna come on the technology side.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're gonna see the websites that are older that look like they've been around since I don't know since I was a baby. That's where the money's gonna be spent.
Yep.
That's where the changes you're gonna see in applications such as apps and websites. You're gonna see these resorts. There's new resorts popping up to cater to the lifestyle. I think Desire just opened up 2 new resorts in the Dominican.
Mm-hmm.
So there's more of it coming around. It's not in your face, but it's there. And if you're in the scene, you know where to go to visit these places.
Now, how do you think people in the lifestyle are different between the USA and Europe?
Oh gosh, between the difference between the USA and Europe, we're nothing compared to Europe. Europe is so much more laid back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they will actually put the name of their swingers club on the wall outside. Here, that's taboo. You don't put the name of it. You just put the address, and people show up, and there you go, and they go through a door. Nondescript. In Europe, they're very open. They're open to nudity. They're open to their sexuality. It's just it's a good experience for you to go to Europe and experience that.
Yeah,
because it's like no other. You when you go to Europe and see that, and you come home, you go, "Oh my God, we're so close minded."
You turn on TV there, and there's sex on TV. It's not, it's not hidden on cable.
I remember the first time as a kid, we were watching MASH, and I heard Alan Alda say bullshit. That was a big thing back in the day, And then when I lived in Canada with my wife on regular TV, there's The Sopranos, and there's a sex scene. Wow. And here in the States, you had to watch The Sopranos on HBO.
Yeah.
Not in Canada.
Yeah, pretty crazy. Now, where can someone find ASN on social media, and how can they contact you?
Oh, gosh. On social media, we're on Twitter at ASN Lifestyle Mag.
Okay.
We're on Pinterest as ASN Lifestyle Mag. Okay. We're on Facebook, ASN Lifestyle Magazine. And where else are we? Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest.
I don't know. Where are you?
Oh, Instagram, ASN LS Mag.
Okay. Very good.
And then we're on most of the adult swinging lifestyle sites. SDC as ASN Entertainment. Cassidy as ASN Lifestyle Magazine, and Smuttify as ASN Lifestyle Magazine.
Beautiful. Now, if you started all over again, what would you have done differently?
I don't think I would do anything differently. And the reason I say that was because, yes, it was hard.
Yeah.
And I had to, and I lost my ass, and I lost money. I think it was still the best experience I could have had, because through that experience is how I grew. And now I'm able to help other people.
Yeah.
Like you had said earlier, there wasn't anybody helping me. We either fell on our ass or we made it, and we decided we were going to make it.
Sure.
So being able to have that experience and that foundation is what allows us to move forward and continue to grow. Now, I believe we're continuing to grow every day, and every month and every year, something's different going to be about the magazine that didn't happen the year before.
That's awesome. Well, Michael, I'd like to thank you for being our guest today on Adult Site Broker Talk, and I hope we'll get a chance to do this again real soon.
Bruce, I appreciate it, and it's really a pleasure to speak with you and to hear your voice for the first time.
Yes, indeed. My broker tip today is part 7 of how to buy an adult website. Last week, we talked about the agreement and escrow. So now you own the website. What do you do now? The first thing you should do is make sure you understand everything about the operation of the site. The previous owner will hopefully be available for a period of time to help you with this. As I mentioned last week, you should establish what the former owner's participation will be after the sale. You'll need to deal with production of new content, processing, paying affiliates, and many other things. If you don't have experience in these areas, you may want to consider our general consulting firm, Adult Business Consulting. You can get more information on what this company does at adultbusinessconsulting.com. We help website owners project manage and guide them to the right vendors. Maybe the previous owner had all the right pieces in place: processing, hosting, payments, production, scripts, etc. Or maybe they didn't. We can help evaluate that for you. Let us know if we can help. Anyway, you'll now be operating the website. If you don't have someone like our general consulting firm to help, evaluate all of these items and everything the site is spending money on and using to operate the site. Make sure you're getting a good deal and that these companies are providing the right service, and check to see if you can do better. Hosting is a great example on something where people are often both overpaying and not getting the right service. Many times the server is just too slow. If you have any questions about any of this, feel free to reach out to us on our website. Next week, we'll talk about how to sell a site. And next week, we'll be speaking with sex toy expert Kim Ayers. And that's it for this week's Adult Site Broker Talk. I'd once again like to thank my guest, Michael Ramos. Talk to you again next week on Adult Site Broker Talk. I'm Bruce Friedman.